Every time Karl Dittman releases a new trading strategy or system, I get some people sending me messages. Can I take a look at it? And I did send Karl this morning an email asking for a limited time version of Alpha Scalper so I can put it on my MetaTrader and go through it like I have with virtually every single video you've seen here. I'm not a big fan of reviewing sales pages. I'm not. I think it's stupid, and a lot of people do it because they don't have the product and they don't know anything about trading. But for this one, we're just going to take a quick zip through this before I get the product, just to give you kind of a heads up what we're looking at. And he just posted up some different charts. This is scalping. But this is the 5-minute chart using the trading style medium. And you remember in a lot of the strategies that he offers, you do have different styles you could do. You can go conservative, aggressive, and obviously medium. And everything's always printed up here. You can move that around. And I think that makes it a lot easier for traders. I haven't seen it if this prints like this. I don't think it does, but we'll take a look at it when I do get it on my MetaTrader. The only thing that I'm thinking right now is one of the things that Karl talks about in any strategy is to trade with a dominant trend. So when I see screen captures like this, you're shorting here, you're buying here, you're shorting here, buying here. I don't know what they're using to determine the trend direction. Okay, so that's always one thing when I look at the charts. This was on Euro US dollar 5-minute. Again, you shorted here and then we bought here in a range. So when I look at, again, as the first chart we looked at, what's the trend are we trading here? Because if you're asking me, this looks like a range, right? So that's why I like to get the product and take a look at it on my own chart. And again, they don't tell you how they're determining trend. 1 minute, 5-minute charts, alerts, nothing different. Every strategy he offers is just like this. The 3 different modes: aggressive, medium, conservative. Same thing as always. Let me see if there's anything here. Okay. Yeah, this is one thing I looked at before. And I've had conversations with people about trading. And it's funny because people get into trading because they don't want to work a normal 9-to-5 job. But what happens is they end up spending more time in front of their charts than they ever did at their regular job. And here's the thing. It does say never felt so much freedom. And look, this is true. People who say you got to sit in front of 8 or 12 hours on end, even if you day trade, you're not going to be doing that. There's certain times of the day you're going to trade. In the morning, you got the afternoon, over lunch hour, you're not. So I don't really know anybody personally that trades 8 to 12 hours straight. I just don't see it. I guess some people may, and it's usually the newer traders because they think that's what they have to do. You don't. He's right. You may go back to 9-to-5 because if you want to be a slave to your computer, and I can tell you right now, when I started trading, I lived on the Forex charts and I would trade every single session. And I'll be honest with you, it burns you out. And in the end, you don't make as much money as you think you're going to. Once I got into swing trading, which is something I always wanted to do, and that was always my goal. I wanted to scalp and day trade just to help build the account so I could swing trade. And it's not as easy as some people make it seem. Let me just read this here. See, this is the thing. I'm doing this right in front of you guys, so I'm not making this stuff up as I go. Okay, I haven't pre-planned what I was going to say. I just don't buy into hype. I don't. This is a 27.30, 19 pips on 1-minute chart. Okay. Well, again, I'm not going to trade a 1-minute chart. But anyways, down move here. We're in a range here, and then the buy signal goes up here. And then all of a sudden I'm selling again. There might be a reason you're doing that. The market is putting in lower highs and lower lows. So that would validate having a short trade set up here. I don't know why this would be a buy, because to me this is a trading range. The sell, once we break this low, we are putting in lower highs and lower lows. So if you just use a normal price pattern as your way of determining trend, there's some legitimacy to this. These trades in here, I don't know. Again, I don't know what happened on the left side of the chart, but this is probably painful for a little bit, and it works its way out. 1 minute chart. I'm not going to trade that myself. This would make sense, this trade up here, simply because you've got these three pushes to the upside. You get the market putting a low, a lower high, a lower low, and the sells up here after it puts in a lower high. Totally legitimate there. I could buy that one for sure. Same thing here. We got a big run, and the buy in this area here would make sense as well as we break through this area that was support right here. Breaks through, comes back. This does not invalidate breakouts. So if you look at when you hear about support turning into resistance, resistance turning into support, just because price breaks above and pulls back down, it does not invalidate a breakout, just so you guys know. A lot of people think it does, but it doesn't. This is still a legitimate trade if that was the reasoning for getting on that trade. Same thing here. As long as the price patterns are showing lower highs and lower lows, it would make sense to take these trades. And it's not in a range. Let's see if this one makes any sense. We bought here. You sat through this, and this must have been a little bit painful. But again, it's, I don't know what time chart this is. I can't see it. 5 minutes. Will this buy make sense? I think it would. I like breaking down these charts too. This is kind of fun to do with this. I've never really done this. Exit here. We have a resistance level. Price breaks above. This buy would make sense in this zone. The exit here would make sense for this trade, I guess. I guess this is the sell. If I have to put sell here, would that make sense? Well, look at, we have a higher low, a lower high, and a breakthrough. That would make sense. So that could be a legitimate trade as well. So you know what? Let me just flipping through here. Let me just get the product. I'll put it up on my MetaTrader, and I'll go through some of the more recent trades, and we could break it down. And let's take a look at these things here. Yeah, never consider Forex as a path to get rich quickly. That's why, scalping to me has always been not so much. When I did scalp, it was more futures. Spot Forex was how I started, though. But be careful of your lot sizes, absolutely. No emotions allowed. And that's, I will say this. One good thing about these kind of strategies and systems is that there's no guesswork involved. It's plotted out, and you just do what it says. And if you're managing your money well, perhaps it could work out for you. Yeah, stick to your trading system and don't add or remove anything. This is a good point. I know a lot of people, when they start trading, they find this one strategy, they take a few losses, and they start changing everything. But as soon as you change one thing that's not been tested, you've already changed that trading strategy. So let's say, for example, you have Alpha Scalper, and you start changing some of the rules. Well, you're no longer trading Alpha Scalper, are you? You're not trading what this plan was. So that's a big mistake that I will hazard a guess here that virtually everyone does. And I say that because I know that I would do the same thing. So easy steps. Look, I'm going to be straight up. Nothing easy about trading. And, people say, well, you just said follow it. Follow the rules. Yes. But I can tell you right now, you take 2 or 3 losses in a row, many of you will start getting upset, start being emotional, start saying it's junk, and start changing things. So it's not easy. Attach to your thing, your chart. Yeah, it all makes sense. I don't know what this adaptive take profit level is. If anything, that could be an ATR. I'm a big fan of ATR in my own trading. Let's just take a look here. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff on all of it. So you know what? I'll get a copy of it. I'll put it on my own platform. If you're in the mood, pick it up yourself. There's a link right there. Let's just go through this chart. I don't know if I did here. No, I didn't. So you bought here. Would this make sense? I don't know. I don't know what's on the left side of the chart, but we did take out this low here. But again, I don't know what's on the left side of the chart, so I can't really say. The sell here, would it make sense? I don't know if it would have made sense. It depends on when this plots. I don't know when this plotted. Did it plot right at the peak here when you knew you were putting in a lower high? I don't know. The good thing is we did put in right here. You can see it right here. We do have a lower swing low. So if this was plotting as the market was turning over, that's a good trade. What else we got? We got a buy here. Does this buy make sense? It's not bad. I'll tell you why. Because you do have this huge spike down, and the price can't revisit those lows. So I'm not sure, again, when this plotted, and even if you take something as simple as a trend line and just connect those highs there, if it's breaking out of here, that's actually a decent entry technique in the context of an overall trading strategy, is using a trend line break. Exit here. Yeah, you miss all this run, but you know what? We're never going to catch all of it. Does this make sense? Absolutely. After a big thrusting run up in price, we get this congestion up in here. When the sell happens is in here. Makes sense, right? If you're looking at just price action itself. This buy is right here. Does it make sense? Well, let's take a look. Not bad. So we pushed up into here. A bit of a pullback, and then it breaks out. And I'll tell you why this is not a bad idea trade if this is the reasoning for it. Because when you're looking at zones like this, and price pushes up, and we have a lazy pullback off of it, those more times than not edge the probability to the upside breakout. That's just price action trading. Okay, if price just rockets back to the bottom, well, then we're still in that range. And if you do get price rocketing from the bottom of a range right out the top, expect a strong pullback. Would we have a sell here? Again, that's not there. Yeah, look at this big, long, this low here. Takes out this low. This high kind of comes in this area here. We just like a trend line between these two peaks here. It makes sense. So, you know what? So far, just looking through these charts, obviously it's hindsight because I can see what happened. But just looking at these areas here. So again, I'll cut it short. I will grab a copy of it, and I'll get it on my charts, and then we'll take a look at it. All right, thanks for watching.